First of all, thank you five ladies for showing up today. This is something that I think you'll find pretty interesting. I've showed the e-books, which are electronic books, to the students from 2nd grade up to 5th grade. They have found that they're pretty interesting. We've gone into the computer lab actually, and I've let them go online and look at these e-books. We know now that we are really grasping with the new Common Core to meet the guidelines, to have the nonfiction material that we're required to use. And most of these books, we have 383 now on our shelf, which is a virtual shelf, not a physical bookshelf, that these students can pull from. So I'm just going to kind of start from the beginning. I have given everybody a yellow sheet of paper. This explains the 3 different ways that you can view these e-books. I'm basically going to give you the spiel that I've given the children in the last 2 weeks. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. First of all, you're going to go to the Brunswick County Schools homepage, our internet page, and you will click on Students and then Student Resources. And then you're going to go to BCS eBooks. And all this, I believe, should be on the 2nd page to tell you how to get there. Once you go to eBooks, it's going to bring you to this Follett shelf. Follett is the company that we have purchased most of these eBooks from. It's the name of the company. It's who most of our books in the library are purchased from. You will arrow down and you'll see Southport eBook shelf. Okay? You'll click here and this will take you to our shelf. Before I move on from that, let me show you that you've got 2 apps. It says there's an app for that. Any iProduct, iPads, iPhones, or Droid product, you can actually get an application for this Follett offline reader, and you can be in your car without internet capability. Let's say you're on a trip. If you have downloaded this app, you can read those books even without internet access. So that's something that you can kind of carry with you everywhere. I have put the code on the papers, on the back page, the last handwritten thing, and on the front page. If you go to download it, you will need to put in our school shelf, and that is the WBB 16593. It's pretty self-explanatory. It tells you what to do next. Now, I will click on the Southport eBook shelf, and that is going to take me into our shelf. Now, you have a login. I have an administrator login, which I'm going to put in now. You will have like your Novell login should work here. If not, let me know. That is what I was told, and I have not tried it with a teacher login yet. I have simply not had the time. Let me put mine in. All right, we're going to log in, and this, you do log in twice usually. You log in like you would to Destiny or Novell, and then you have to log in again on the e-shelf. Now, this is our ebook shelf. Let me maximize. If you look right here, it tells you we have 398 books on this shelf. You can search here. I will be honest with you, I found a lot of glitches with that. The students want to put in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. We do not usually have on this shelf books that we have in this library. These books are really newest, up to date, and like I said, most of them are nonfiction. I'm just going to kind of go through how to navigate through this shelf for you. If the book says out, then obviously it is checked out. You can arrow through the books here. For example, let's go to endangered animals. I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to just read it online today instead of checking it out. You're allowed to check out 1 book at a time. You can turn it in early and check out another book. But so we can get into more than 1 book today. I'm not going to check this out. We're going to read it online. It's going to load that book and hopefully pull it up for us. All right, this is the actual book. I'm going to start with the icons across the top. This is kind of what you use while you're in the page, and those directions also are on this goldenrod sheet. But the first one, of course, is to close the book. So when you're finished, you can close it. And if you have checked the book out, it's going to say, do you want to return this back to the shelf, or do you care to keep it checked out? You'll click whatever you want. A lot, well, not a lot, some of the books, the lower leveled books, have the text to speech option, which is this text bubble here, or speech bubble that says read. If that is lit up, that means that the computer will actually read that book to whoever is listening. And I'll show you one in a minute. It is very choppy, very computer-like language, and it will read everything on the page. So if the page is number 4, it's going to say 4. So I've kind of explained that to the kids too, so they don't get lost. You can flip through the pages of the book with the arrows back and forth, or if you want to go to a specific page, you can come here. Let's type in 12, enter. It's going to take me to page 12. All right, so this is page 12. This is, of course, an alphabet of endangered species. So these are going to be animals that we don't have so many of anymore. If the text is too small, you can zoom in so that you can see better. You can zoom out. This tells you where you are as far as the size of the text. Information. This is information on the book, and I'm especially hitting this with the older students. If they're doing a report and they want to copy a page or print something out of that book, this will let them know, copyright-wise, does this publisher and author allow this? Yes and no, okay? Does this book read aloud? It will tell you that as well. So an information bubble. This is a dictionary. If they come across a word they don't know while they're reading, they can type that word in. Maybe they don't know what habitat means. They can type in habitat. If I can spell. Hit look up, and it is actually going to pull up dictionary entries for the word habitat. Now, what if I'm reading my entry here and I don't understand what one of these words are? Or any word that I basically want to look up, I can click down here to the collegiate dictionary. Let's say I don't know what residence means. I'll type in residence, look it up. It's going to pull up a definition for residence. So really, you know, right there in their hands, the information they need. I'm going to get back out of the dictionary here. Close that out. All right, let's see. Table of contents. That's just going to take you to the table of contents of the book. This is an interesting feature that I think as teachers that you guys will use. Notes. Let's say you're building a lesson plan, you're working through this book, you find some things that fit with your Common Core studies that you want to remember. Every time you log in on your account and you go into that book, any notes or bookmarks you've made will be there for years, is what I was told. I know technology changes all the time, but for example, maybe we're learning about habitats. I know that that is something that's hit in most grade levels. I have gone in and, let's see, let's make a note here. I'm going to click on the notes, right click on my page and hit add note, click. It's going to give me, I can type in whatever I want there. Habitats, I'm just going to put environments. If I were going to go back in and build a lesson plan from this, those are going to be some keywords I may use. Save. All right, now I have habitats and environments on the left side of my screen. When I go into that book and I click notes, it's going to pull up that page and what I have noted on that page, and that will be there every time you come back into that book. Another thing that I think is really interesting is search, this magnifying glass you can click. Maybe I'm looking through books for certain information. I don't want to read about all the endangered animals. Maybe I only want to read about tigers, okay? If I click on this and type in tigers, instead of having to read through that whole book and look for tigers, it's going to tell me every page that the word tiger appears.